And oh, I forgot to add some white onto my palette here, but we'll get to that in a second here. So we got a road, and I like the road, and for the most part, I like this. I'm not exactly entirely satisfied with this, but I think this is as good as I'm going to get it. And I need to add some white. We're using golden artist acrylics. These are professional grade paints. And we're also going to be using the glazing fluid in order to thin the paints down. And what we're going to be doing at this step is putting some trees in the foreground, some headlights for the cars, and we'll just start that right now. The glazing fluid, where did I put that at? And so this is the glazing fluid we're using. And what this stuff does is it helps to mimic oil paints. And so if you were trying to do like the Bob Ross method of painting in acrylics, well, this is the stuff you'd use to mimic that wet on wet kind of a style. At least that's what they told me at the store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this white, we're going to thin it down. And so coming right out of the, I think I have an example of this. Yeah, right here. This is one that I did on paper several months ago. And coming out of the shadows is an automobile coming down the path. And so instead of, we're not putting any telephone wires in this. We're going to put just a couple trees, just so you can get the perspective of what's going on. What's going on? That sounds like a song. Wasn't there a song called What's Going On? The Four Non-Blondes or something like that. It is like this. Off in the distance, there's a couple lights shining out. Let's see, how does that look? Looking at it, do I need to like put a little box around it so it makes it seem like, well, we'll do that after it dries. All right, let's get to work on making the trunks of those trees. I think, should we use black or should we take, I'll take some of this quinacridone magenta. Maybe we'll use that and mix this green into it so it'll make it kind of a brownish color. Now it's kind of like a gray color. It's like sort of a gray color now, but I think just because I'm going to take some of this bone black and put it in there. We better test it to see what color it looks like on a white piece of paper. And I got that tester page over here, someplace over here. I am just not prepared at all. I've had nothing but migraines over the course of the last week or so. Multiple migraines. I had one today. I took Imitrex like 2 hours ago. So it looks like it's almost black. And so let's just thin that down a bit. There we go. You can see all the colors this way. I think we want to have it more, yeah, okay. Need to be a little bit more fluid. We'll just mix that glazing fluid right into the paint. And we're going to put in a tree. I'm going to put it in right over here. It's going to come right up. It's going to be pretty tall. And we want it to, I think we want it to end up kind of up here. down about here. That's what I think I want the placement of it to be, or kind of tall, like, yeah, like there. So the trunk is right here. We'll just start it from here, and then we'll just move it. Because it's at sunset, these things are silhouetted. And we're going to bring it, kind of thin it out, thin the color out. There, about like that. I wonder if the stream is even clear. Probably chances are it's not. I've been having trouble with my internet of lately. So if that's the case, we're not going to do too much here. Well, so far so good. So far so good. So we'll just run a layer. I'm going to do some other layers here. And I like that. I like the placement of that, where that is at. I think that's kind of cool. Oh, look, my mod has arrived. Welcome, Tools of Fortune. Are you ever going to restart your channel again? You've been kind of not doing anything for quite some time now. All right, I think I want a different, we're going to add a different color into there. I think I'm going to come in and we're going to add into my palette a little bit of yellow ochre, just because. So we got, I'm going to put that over here, a little yellow ochre. It's like yellow orc, right? Yellow orc, because we're going into the Misty Mountains, and in the Misty Mountains, underneath the Misty Mountains, there's nothing but orcs up in there. Okay, all right, Hobbit. We got the Hobbit. We need some more colors on my palette. A little primary yellow. The trees in are going to have a more brilliant red. We're going to use a magenta in it. And so we are going to start. All right, I need another brush. We're using liner brushes. I have another liner brush we probably want to pull out and use too. So I got 3 liner brushes. Let's just wet that down. And we're going to be laying in the, we're going to be kind of using the brush, the flat of the brush like this, to lay in the colors. I think we'll go with, I'm like totally not prepared. I think I mentioned that already. So we're just going to be on for here like half hour, 45 minutes max. You won't see this thing getting completely complete. That's not going to happen, but maybe you'll see it in a long play video for just the finishing touches. Okay. So we're going to start in with what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in over here. I'm going to make a color for the foliage. As if you notice, I don't have any blue here at all. So I got green. I'm going to take the green and we're going to lighten it up. We're not doing any yellow and blue mixed green stuff going on here. And let's get a good color going on. Let's add some more of this in here. It's got some red in there, so it'll just make it just a tad bit of brown, because red and green make brown. Brown is red and green. Okay. And I'm going to come back in. Let's just take a little of this yellow ochre and put it in there. And a little bit more of It's like not moving. It's not moving. It's because of that liner brush. All right, we're gonna mix good. You want to mix that paint real good. What kind of a Q&A is it gonna give me here? Oh, there's like one person looking in other than than the mod. Okay, all right. Now let's go test the color out. See how that's gonna look. So we have sort of, we're gonna be laying in the colors kind of like that. Maybe kind of more like this. Making it a kind of a side motion. Yeah, I think we'll want to try to do it like that with the side motion. That one's kind of bad. We want to get it an effect kind of maybe like that. So this is the part where I get kind of nervous every time I do paintings like this, because it's like, this is a painting that I'm hoping to sell, that has a price tag on it. And then when you are doing these final details, you want to kind of be, I'm a little bit timid in doing them, simply because I don't want to F up. That's the last thing you want to do when you're painting, right? Is to F things up. You know, you guys, if you're coming in here and lurking in, you could at least push the like button, you know? Like, you don't have to subscribe. You can just lurk in all you want. But please push the like button. You know, I don't care if you subscribe or not. You can do that or you can't. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm past 1,000 subs, and so that's okay with me. I think I'm at 1,400 now. So I'm coming into an issue here of where the foreground and the background are the same color, and that is a problem. That's a huge problem because it's not really standing out, and I was afraid that was going to happen because I spent so much time on the background. But what we're going to do is make the finishing touches on this tree. We're going to make it red. A nice, vivid red. You have to be very careful because that surface is pretty... It's got a lot of layers down on it. It's pretty glossy. It's really glossy. And we want to maybe give it some more there, more there, more there, like that. And so we're going to be building this out. But I don't want to do too much because it's going to get muddy. And you know what? I'm going to need a hairdryer to finish this job. So probably with this live stream here, we're just going to do this one tree. Maybe I'll do a second tree. And so, excuse me while I get my hairdryer. Okay, I'm right here. I'm just got my extension cord. Go plug the hairdryer in. So we'll be rapid drying this surface here before we add the next layer of paint. Hopefully the sound doesn't blast you out. I have my tablet there, so it kind of acts like a mirror, so you can see that I'm actually doing something. So far, this tree looks like shit. Okay, I got 6 people working in. Only like 1 or 2 people have pushed the like button. I know it's kind of loud. You know, maybe you're thinking this like it's a ASMR painting video. Starting to dry up a little bit. Okay. Oh crap! I almost knocked my my palette down. That would have been a terrible disaster. Okay. All right. Come back in here and we're going to pick another color. I'm going to just go right in with, this is a quinacridone magenta. I want to just see how that's going to look here. We're just going to put some of that in here. We just want this thing to be a little bit more brilliant and stand out from the crowd. It's important to stand out from the crowd sometimes, you know. Now let's add some better strokes onto it. Got to get some good stroke action here when you're doing your paintings and so forth. So I'm going to move this in here. All right. I like that. All right, some of that paint is starting to, because the surface is not very absorbent anymore because there's so many layers of paint on there. But as we come up towards the sky, it'll look more outstanding. Granted, this isn't exactly what trees look like. We'll just kind of do this kind of emotion in there. So far, the trees do look like shit. I admit that. I'll admit that. And so we're going to have to do a little bit of work to unshitify our trees. One of the things, lessons one needs to learn if they're a new painter, is about the lesson of balancing expectations against reality. Balancing expectations against reality. Because you'll have a vision in your mind about what your work is supposed to look like, but you know, when you get out into it and you're working on it, and just like this, you realize, oh, fudge, my painting looks like shit. And so, you gotta be working really hard to unshitify your painting. Unshitify your work. All right, that is, we're going to come back to this one. I think I want to do a different color on it as well. It's too kind of really tall. Now, granted, you might see a tree like this. It's a happy tree. It's a phallic tree. It's just like a brush. It's like the Fuller Brush Man came over to your house, and this is the toilet brush you're going to use to clean out your toilet. It's going to snake it in there really good. That's what kind of brush this, kind of tree this is. It's like a bottle brush or a real long toilet brush. Okay, all right. Let's go and do another tree. We'll do one over a couple over here. And we'll come back to this one. And we might kind of work on them. Well, that just dried really fast there. Kind of work on, you know, a little bit of like foliage around here. So it kind of blends in a bit. Maybe we'll take some of this primary magenta. It dried really fast. It's surprising how fast that our acrylics dry up. It's like when you need to use them, you know, they're all just crusty, hard, like shit in the crack, huh? All right, I guess this is the reason why you don't paint after, you know, after you've used Imitrex, because I used that a couple hours ago. You know, I was gonna just kind of suffer through things, and I said, like, F that. We're just gonna go for the Imitrex. We're gonna use that, and so we're gonna do a little kind of a tree up over here. There. Kind of like that. Maybe this one will just, instead of being green, maybe green is not such a great color. We're going to take this color here. We're going to darken it up a bit. Now it looks kind of gray. Looks a little gray, so we're going to want to add a little bit more of this ochre, yellow ochre into the mix. And I think I might want to, instead of using this liner brush, I might use a different brush for this job here. I might use because in the past, I might have used a brush that was more like this to do the tree. You know, I've been using liner brushes for a while, but that doesn't mean I have to use a liner brush. We can try a different kind of brush. Maybe a fan brush. Maybe that. But we'll just try. Let's just practice. We'll just we'll do a little practice here and see how it works out. A tree like that comes in, and then we come in with or the brush bristles are stiff on this thing. Come in with this, and we want to see if we pull it out like that so it's more brush-like. Here we go. It's kind of a practice. I don't know if I like that effect. I'm thinking, I don't know. What do you think? Let's pull that down like that. Go back into I don't have any of that. I don't have the brush type I want to use here. It's kind of like this, but this one's kind of all worn out. Maybe we'll use that one. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome to my crappy painting that I'm trying to finish. Bill's crappy painting. My paint's all dried up hard. You can try that. Maybe that works. I don't think I want to do that. I really don't. I just don't like. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like those brushes. I don't like how the effects that they are going to give. And so we're just going to go back to the liner brush. We're going to use the liner brush. Thank you for liking the colors. And we're just going to use a liner brush. Okay. All right. We're just going to go in and I'm going to use this quinacridone. This is a Liquitex. It's a Liquitex page. It's a quinacridone magenta. And I'm going to just, we're going to put it in here because I really want to use this because it, against the background, it looks like the air is moving. And that's the effect that we want it to have. And you look at it here, like the air is moving, and you're moving down the road in your car. I have a fan brush, and I'm not going to use it. I started using it with the sort of a practice on that practice page, and I'm not. I don't want to. It's just not going to work. And that paint is too thin now. So I'm going to need to thicken that paint up a bit. It's too wet. I'm going to have to... I'm kind of... My mood is just a little bit on the... I'm on the tail end of... So you're not... No, I'm not a fan of fan brushes. I'm on the tail end of a migraine, on the backside of a migraine, so... I'm a little bit more impulsive. And I'm going to get my hair dryer out, and I'm going to dry this layer. I might come in and use some fluorescent paint on this, just because, move that down, make it more tree-like. It's not really, I'm not really happy with these trees at all. I'm not happy with them. And there's other ways that I would use to do this, and I don't think I need my brushes rolling into the painting here. So I'm going to come out here with my hair dryer again. I'm going to mute it this time so that, I don't blast you out. So, Sarah, I do paint live often, but I do other things on this channel as well. Painting is, well, painting is a big part of it, but I also run a talk show, and I'm just getting ready for an art fair this week, and so I'm just getting content together for an art fair. And I've been struggling because I've had 5 migraines in the last 10 days. And so I've lost a whole lot of time. The time that I put aside for doing painting, that I put aside, was lost completely in having a migraine. So it really sucks. So I'm going to mute it again and hit the hair dryer. What I might do is come back and put some more light into. I don't have much time. The art fair is the day after tomorrow, and so I still need to varnish this thing. Man, this paint has dried so fast. So let's come back on it, and if I put more water down, it's just going to be all kinds of smeary because of how many layers of paint I have on here already. But let's just do this. I think importantly, it's how this looks. I don't like those brush strokes. I'm really not liking what's happening here. But I'm kind of left in a position where that maybe the way to do this is actually quite a bit more different. And I do know how to do it because I do a lot of painting. I mean, because, for instance, this is a more original version of this same thing that was done both in watercolors and in fluid acrylics. And then we go for, I think, maybe one of the very first ones I did of it. And so a couple days ago, this is actually the painting I'm doing right now. Of course, the colors here are lighter, and these are darker, and so the trees are not standing out like I want them to. I think the very first one I did, Sarah, was this one. This is the very first one I did of this image. I don't know, like 6 months ago, maybe? 6 months ago. And then my reference photo. This is my reference photo here. And though the mountains that I have in the background are actually back here. They're way back here. These are the mountains. But, I've made these mountains different, which is cool. And so, yeah. And we have, and many of those others I painted live on this show. This is also a painting I painted live on the show. This is last April. Yeah, welcome. Oh, Sarah, you came back. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, what are other people doing in the live streams that you're tuning into? This paintbrush is not working at all. It's not behaving like how I want it to. So I'm going to come in with this is actually a watercolor brush. The bristles are a little stiffer. Maybe this will get me what I want it to do a little bit better. What kind of sucks about art? So you're watching a little bit everything. You got kicked off. I mean, I didn't kick you off. Man, I get in trouble with some of my mods because I don't kick enough of the trolls off. All right. Here we go. This one's better. Kind of stands out a little bit better. We're going to kind of put some of this in here, like it's got a little grass on that knoll there. We might actually come through here and add a little bit of light by I think, yeah, I think I might do that. And then we'll add a little bit more light onto there, like a thin layer of, oh, is your phone kicked you off? Cinnamon Clooney. Oh, I don't know who Cinnamon Clooney is. I'm going to just, this is a fluid acrylic. I'm putting this in here just to lighten things up a little bit, put a little bit more light into it. I mean, the sun's over there, but you know, there's still a lot of light because the sun is setting. And this will be okay because it'll sort of, we'll hit it with the hair dryer again. And we'll go back over to that other tree. And then maybe I'll do just a little bit more, and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to finish this video over in TikTok. And then the final video I will just upload back up onto this channel, probably like tomorrow morning. And yeah, so I do have TikTok too, but I just started doing TikTok. And we better get it with the hair dryer here, or I'll just go back over here and do this thing a bit more. I might add a little light into that tree as well. Now for over here, because we've got the sun coming this way, I'm going to add on one side of the tree some of this fluorescent chartreuse, little fluorescent chartreuse. And maybe we'll put a little bit, better clean off the brush. I want to go back in and put some more in the fluid acrylics. I want to put in some of that primary magenta. I really want to get, or I might put in a little fluorescent chartreuse and maybe some fluorescent rose. So if we come down here, and it kind of has a greenish tone to it, which kind of works. It's really liquid, so it's not standing out too much. But I want to get some of those strokes that look like caca out of here. Here we go. But you know, it is acrylics, and acrylics look better. This what got you back into painting. Yeah. Well, I actually have 2 YouTube channels that I post content to, and I'm kind of, it's easy to, when you got a lot of crap going on in your life, it's easy to stop doing stuff. I'm going to put this up here. All right, you have a good night. I have some long play videos that you might be interested in. I got a lot of different stuff, on this channel, especially back in the past. Tools of Fortune is one of my channels too. I haven't posted any content for a little while, as I've just been taking a break. Because, if you live stream, because in the summertime I was live streaming 5-6 hours a day, and I got really tired. Where I'm at, 40 minutes. I think that kind of works. Look at it. Is it getting pixelated on the, looks like it could be. I don't know. I feel like I need to move the whole camera setup back a ways. There we go. Get more of the thing right out of the chat. Okay, there we go. I think that looks better. And maybe we'll take some of this over here. Maybe over here we look at it and this tree is more silhouetted, and that kind of works too. I like that. We're just gonna go with that. More silhouetted, so you can't really see it very well. The sun's right over here, so it will be silhouetting thing. Go over here. There's more light on this side of the tree, less light on that side. Okay, that's acceptable. I like that. Let's go in and we're going to hit this with... Okay, good, because since January this year, it seems like my internet provider is giving me shitty service for a much more expensive rate. So like a year ago right today, outside of my house on my Wi-Fi, I got download speeds of like 100 and upload speeds of like 25. I could do a 1080p live stream, and now I can't do 1080p live streams. And so I have to, if I want to do a 1080p or a 4K live stream, I gotta pay them even more money to do that. And so, I don't know. It's really, really frustrating. I'm really frustrated by a lot of different things. But then again, I am a content creator and an artist, and it's very natural that you want to put out a good product and you want to look good. You want it to look good, and so you want it to look good as possible. And so, yeah, when it's not looking good as possible, and when it's sucking, you kind of get kind of pissy. And that's kind of, I guess that's where I'm at. I'm getting a little pissy with the internet service and stuff like that, and that amount of money that you pay for it. I'm going to put another tree in right over here. Not one that's not quite so tall, so it gets a little bit of a perspective. Come down this way. And we want that line to be far lighter. Yeah, it can be very frustrating, Sarah. And especially, what's even more frustrating about it is when you get a pixelated live stream and you're on the Ethernet, because the phone that I'm filming this thing it's plugged in to the Ethernet. I'm not even using Wi-Fi. And like last night, my upload speed plugged into the Ethernet was a bit over 1 megabit per second. And that was really pissing me off. I'm not really like angry, It's not really angry. I'm not an angry person. I mean, that's not that. It's kind of disappointing more than anything else. It's a disappointment when um, I'm not angry. I just to let you know, it's not really. I'm just sort of disappointed by the whole thing. And I think this one, I'm going to use that again. Use this quinacridone. Um, Wipe some of it off the brush. This tree is actually going to look better. You can already see it's looking better up against the background of that stone gray. But it's not a realistic looking tree because this is not how you paint realistic trees. This is how you think trees look, and that's why you paint them this way, but this is not how they look. And it's not how they look at all. There's actuality with trees. And I kind of show you here just as a little example for trees. When you go out and look at them in nature, it's like this. And I'm going to show you with this brush here. We're going to thin the paint down, because the thinner you make the paint down, the easier it is. So this is how you do trees. It's this way, up. You are up, up. It's up. The branches go up and they go out and they go up. They don't go slant down. If you look at a fir tree, you go out and look at fir trees, evergreen trees, this is how they look. But when you draw them, you draw them, this is like what seems like the natural way to draw them. And paint them is like this. This is how you paint them. But this is how they look in nature. And anyways, and but nevertheless, that's kind of, anyway, that's just that. I'm gonna just shut up here and get around to painting. I'm gonna pull that hairdryer out again. I'm gonna dust off this stuff. We'll just put this on low. The rapid drying, the layers. I think I'll put another tree in over on this side too. Kind of up here, a little taller. I want to get a kind of a sense of depth in here to get the depth. That's right over there. All right. Okay. Painting on Imitrex is just as weird as going to work on Imitrex or when I used to bartend. Weird things happened every time. Actually, it was every Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning. That was my Fridays. I had migraines almost every day that I worked as a bartender in a casino. And we're just kind of putting this light in here. That was been the man. There were so many characters that I waited on casino bartending, and it was like what I would finish my Saturday shift sometimes at like midnight, sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning, and swing around to open up the bar the next day. You got like 8 hours. They give you like 7.5 hours between shifts. It's just just migraines, over and over and over again, migraines. I think that this tree looks better. It looks better than this one. So this one still needs some work. I don't know what to do about it, but I'm going to work on it off camera and just craft it into what it needs to be. And we're going to do another tree right over here. I think we'll run it. It would be nice if I could use a lot of water on here. Because as you can see, it's not working because there's too much paint on here. Getting good lines and everything is really challenging here. And in that tree's leaning. That's okay. They can lean, because sometimes they lean. So we're going to have to be dealing with, and what I'm painting on is clay board. So it's not exactly really absorbent. It's absorbent enough. But at this point in time, there's like 15 layers of paint on the canvas. I'm going to come over here with this yellow ochre put it into here. Maybe I'm going to lay it in just like this. Just add it in these spots. I want to make sure I do not spill my fluorescent chartreuse. I wonder how having this tablet here like a mirror, if that helps. And when I look really closely, I look at this really closely. That red does make the tree stand out, and I need another final layer of red on it. I want more red on it. The underpainting was red. Tomorrow, after this painting dries by the fire, I will add a layer of varnish onto it, and hopefully somebody will like this painting. I don't know how much I should charge for it. Maybe what, $50, $100, but How many hours have I spent on it already? I think I'm going to put $100 or best offer on it. Or I'm not even going to put a price tag at all. And somebody asks, well, how much is this? Well, how much do you think it should be? And that's probably the better way to go. And so it goes, yeah, actually having that color in here on the other side, I think it helps. And now I'm going to come in with some of that bone black. Just very lightly bring it on down here. Actually, we're just going to lay it in here like this. It looks a bit more natural that way. Working on my happy little trees. There we go. This kind of brush stroke works a little bit better. Just like that. And then we're going to work on coming over here to this quinacridone magenta. I'm very frustrated that this dried so fast. It's like I'm wasting paint. I hate wasting paint. And I think I'm going to run it kind of like this. I'm just going to lay the color in. Give a little motion there. Gonna lay it in. It's kind of a pretty tall tree. Just thin it with this glazing fluid. Now it's kind of gloopy. I don't like that. That's what makes it kind of a frustrating thing, is when the paint goes onto the canvas and it's gloopy like that. And the backstroke kind of there. And it's blending in with that mountain. It's not really standing out. It's there, so it's going to need a different kind of a color scheme going on just to make it better. It's gloopy there. The frustrating part of painting. Right here, it's frustrating. The tree's kind of leany. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's good, Bill. It's good. It's good. It's good. All right. How's this? I think we need to... I'm going to leave that one dark over there. I'm going to hit the hairdryer on this again, and then we're going to... all right. I don't want to blast you guys out. Okay. I'm sure I chased everybody away there with the hairdryer without muting the thing. I feel hungry. I'm hungry. It's 1:30. This tree's kind of the leaning tree. It's leaning, leaning, lean. What? How does that song go? I used to sing that when I was in the gospel choir. Leaning to the everlasting Lord, leaning, 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 mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Then right around that time, the deacon would get into preaching. We'd be humming that song along, and he'd be preaching right into the song. I miss those days. The days at Immaculate Conception Gospel Choir. Immaculate Conception in Seattle, Washington. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, this little light of mine. I don't know. Am I making this worse? Am I making it better or am I making it worse? You know, because the pressure, I had the pressure on this to make it perfect. And it still just looks like a damn bottle brush. It doesn't look like a tree. It looks like a GD bottle brush. Anyways. Let's put some of this red in the trunk. Didn't show up in there. Okay. All right. I'm just going to do one more thing. Holy fucking hell. What's that going on? Is that gravity or do I got a ghost in this house again? A ghost is moving crap around. It doesn't feel like I have a ghost, so good thing I can just wipe that right off, wipe the paint right off. This is all nice and dry here. All right. All right, so I probably should just retitle this Full of Piss and Vinegar. That's kind of where I'm at today, right? Full of piss and vinegar. Alright, I think... Is it like a white line along the side of the road? I think that's what it is. White line, of course, not a yellow line. Sometimes you gotta follow the white line. It's crooked line. Yeah, we'll just kind of make it a little thicker over here. Totally unnatural, right? Kind of trails off into nothingness. It's like the guy who drew the lines on the road was oh, maybe it looks like there's some ripples in the road. Yeah, that's what it is, of course. Kind of curves around like that. A little bit of some curving action. White line. Maybe you wouldn't see it that far. We can wipe that off a bit. So we got a white line. We got some, just a little bit of this. Maybe you want to put a little box around that, so it's got like a big truck or something, or maybe it's just a coming down the road. Maybe it's like that. Driving down, yeah. Just some details. Road-worthy details. I know that live art is really boring to watch because nothing happens very fast. I've been at it over an hour right now. So we're gonna do another little white line. And like the line's a little bit bigger this way. Maybe I can make it straighter. Got some breaks in it. It's not perfect, but a little bit more like that. Yeah, I don't know, maybe $50. What do you think? Would you pay $50 for this? Maybe you wouldn't pay $50 for it. Maybe it's only like 25. straighter on this side, but why is this one rippling? Oh well. Clear off in the distance there. Maybe we'll just sort of fill it in with a little bit of blue. Because a lot of cars are blue, aren't they? I don't know. I don't like this tree. Don't like it at all. But I do think I like the perspective issues of kind of getting bigger to smaller. I think it might have it more of a 3D effect. I think when you get back, and you're getting back at from a distance, it's going to have that more of a 3D effect. So I'm getting a little blue out of here, and I'm going to take the blue and kind of move it around the headlights just a little bit here. Maybe there's a blue vehicle off in the distance. I don't know. Oh wait, I hope I didn't ruin it. I'm really frustrated. We'll just put this into the surface and we'll rub it in and we'll get there. Many colors in here. Believe it or not, I actually didn't put any black in on the road surface. It's all just layers of many different colors. Maybe you have headlights on too, over this going this way. And then you might come back in and add a different layer, a different color in there all together. Come back in with that green. And I'm just going to rub that in to... Sometimes you use your fingers when you're painting. I need to make sure I get to sleep before 5 o'clock in the morning. It's kind of, this is a transparent black. Kind of just putting it in there. An extra color in the background. I can't believe how fast this paint just dried on the palette. I'm going to get Get rid of some of this black, this white line in here. Kind of dwindling around, kind of faded into the background. I wonder how many people actually watch this live. I bet it's under 50. Oh. Here we go. What do you think? Gonna blend that in, blending the colors in together. That line's less than desirable, but it's all right. It's what it is. And so yeah. Just a little of these different colors in here. That's gloopy. Okay, we can wash it off a little bit. I just want to just a slight dusting of this green black mixture in here. Just trying to get this tree to shape up. It's not shaping up right. Sigh, 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 bye, hi, kai, lie, tie, vi. All right. You know what? I don't think I can do any more on this. I think it's almost done. There's probably just a couple more layers to go. We look at it here. Path, road to the Misty Mountains. Man, it looks so amateuristic. I do more professional looking work, but then again, I've only been into this thing for 3 days. I think if I can get $50 for this, I'd be really satisfied. All right, well, that's all I got for you guys for today. We will be back at you with something new at a later date. So we'll talk to you later. And I'm signing off for now. Bye-bye. And thank you, everyone, for coming in to say hi.